Hello and welcome back to the Mad Cinemists Show. I'm Scott G.
And I'm Phil D.
Well, we have a bit of a surprise. Had a bit of a surprise just a few minutes ago. So we had planned on doing Harakiri Death of a Samurai.
Yeah, the
Uh,
2011 film.
yeah, and we thought for a while. We watched it, and we thought for a minute, and we kept reading reviews, or you kept reading reviews with people saying that they preferred the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I had never seen the original, but you had.
Yeah.
But I guess it'd been a while, so you didn't really remember that much about it.
Yes, it's been, fuck, dude. It's probably been since like, I don't know, 2013
Yeah.
or something since I've seen it. And I had seen the 2011 movie
Multiple times.
yeah, a couple of times at this point, and there was a Japanese film festival.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and me and a buddy went, watched the original Harakiri, and I liked it, but I think number one, it was the end of the day, and we went and had a couple of beers first. So
Yeah.
I think I was a little tired, to be
Yeah.
honest. So and this
Beers
movie,
make you sleepy.
beers make you sleepy, and slow samurai movies
And
also make you sleepy.
yeah.
So that became I'm maybe not paying as much attention
As
as I
much.
should have.
Yeah.
Because if I'd paid more attention.
Oh boy. You would have known what you were getting into watching this again.
Yeah.
See, because I think we were both under the same impression that we didn't necessarily think that obviously we didn't think that the movie was going to be bad.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, the original version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that maybe that both the movies would kind of be on par.
Yeah.
However, come to find out, the old one is actually a lot better.
It is a better
Like
movie.
it is a much better, way more solid film.
Objectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and that's kind of a funny place because I still consider, Harakiri Death of a Samurai to be one of my favorite films ever.
Absolutely.
And I have, reasons to love that movie. I mean, there's a couple of movies that I like that the story isn't exactly the best, but the cinematography and the way that it's done does a thing for me.
Right,
Like
exactly.
The Fountain.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, cinematography and like art direction and all of that, all of that, just the set dressings in the new one, I think, are a little bit more elaborate and a little bit more interesting.
And I like some of the acting in the new one better.
Yeah,
I do think that the main character, hold on, let me make sure I got his name right. Hanshiro Suguma. Suguma.
Yeah, the main dude.
Yeah, the main dude. He's I feel very mixed about the two versions of him.
Yeah.
Right, because I feel like the older film, his character is more true to samurai form.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And the newer film, though, I think that the character is portrayed a lot more broad of a person.
Yeah.
A little bit more of a soft father family guy rather than just being this samurai badass.
Yeah.
In the old one, it's a samurai badass that he cares about his family, but he's kind of a little disconnected from them.
A little bit, yeah. He doesn't seem to know much about what's going on with them until much later.
Like their financial situation.
Yeah, their financial situation, I think, was a good touch.
Yeah.
Like having them keep. The way I feel about the new one at this point, whereas the old one, the 1962 version,
which is just Harakiri.
Harakiri,
and then the new one is Death of a Samurai as a subtitle.
Yeah, it's Harakiri dash.
Yeah, Death of a Samurai.
Hara dash Kiri.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, the new one seems like the characters seem more broad, and I feel like that's just kind of all over the movie. The movie itself is a little bit more broad.
Yeah.
Whereas and
the original is so focused.
The original is
it's
so
focused like a fucking katana.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. Yeah.
And that shit cuts you deeper.
Oh yeah.
I think it does because although the emotional side of the new film might be more heavy, the message of the old one, boy.
Oh yeah.
that blows me away. It definitely puts me in a spot. The So okay, I guess we need to go over the basic outline of this
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Let's so new segment. What had happened?
What had happened?
What had happened?
So
Philip, what had happened?
what had happened was, you see here, one day this guy, basically, there's the main character that I was talking about, Hanshiro.
Yeah,
He goes to the House of Lee,
yeah.
okay, which is spelled differently in the two films for some reason, but it's
Yeah,
still
it's
Lee.
weird.
So
It's
I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe
it's
that's just so we can.
LYI in the
Yeah,
1962,
yeah.
and then in the 2011 it's just LI.
Yeah.
So
It seems like there's maybe they're just making that easier for our dumb American eyes to read. You know,
maybe or maybe no, fuck up in translation. The sub
easily
this
any of these things.
yeah.
It could. Um, so basically, this guy shows up to the House of Lee, and he explains to them that he wants to commit seppuku, commit harakiri, actually,
Yeah.
in their um, their courtyard to bring him honor because he's a
Is
samurai that's down on his
open
luck.
up his stomach.
Yep.
They keep doing that too in the
In
film.
the original
In
one,
the
dude,
original one,
they
every
draw
time
a
they
line across their
yeah,
stomach, like
yeah,
make the
they
motion,
make the motion.
like I guess that. Do you think that that's the sign language for harakiri?
I
You think that?
guess.
You think that's the?
But it's almost like they don't want to really
I
talk
gotta ask
about it. It's
somebody
kind
about
of a
that.
slide.
Uh,
You mean
if anybody
like
knows what
this?
the yeah, they keep kind of doing that, and it reminded me of that the Hudsucker Proxy
Oh
thing, the
yeah.
circle. It's for
This is
kids,
for kids, for
for
kids.
kids.
Seppuku, it's for kids.
But anyway, seppuku's not for kids.
No.
Uh, seppuku is only for consenting adults. Okay,
That's right.
that's it. Okay, so just had to get the legal shit out of it.
Absolutely.
But basically, Hanshiro goes to the House of Lee and says, "I'm down on my luck. I have no money. I used to be.
I'm gonna do this.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I used to be a retainer in a major house that now, doesn't have any income. Had to let go, like I think he said, like 16,000 fucking
Good God.
the retainers.
Yeah.
So like a shit ton of people lost their jobs
Yeah,
immediately.
whole bunch.
Yeah, and it's also kind of funny to see those kind of economics working the same way in what
Yeah.
feudal Japan, basically,
Yeah, yeah.
medieval Japan, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's
Yeah, man, their unemployment is really
yeah,
high right now.
they ain't got no coverage on
No
that shit.
coverage.
No, you better be making fucking hats and
That's right.
and selling your shit. That's
You
what
better be making the big hats.
making big hats, okay, for important people.
That's right.
So,
because you're only important in this universe if you have a big hat.
That's right. And one of the fellas, the guy that wears the biggest hat at the time,
Yeah.
he's not the big hat.
No,
he's
not.
like second big hat.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they refer to him as head retainer. Right?
Head retainer.
So head retainer. His name's Kageyu Saito. Right?
Yeah.
So Kageyu Saito. They bring him the news and they're like, hey, we got this guy that just said he wanted to kill himself, and his response is basically like, again. So
not another one.
Not another one, and then they proceed to decide, okay, I'm gonna
I'll let him do it.
Yeah, I'll let him do it.
But yeah.
But we're gonna tell you this story.
Yeah.
About a guy that just came through here, and then
you
find out
do
about
the same
this concept
thing.
called it's the suicide bluff.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the term. It's like Kagyu Seppuku or whatever. They kept saying it, but
yeah.
The idea is that apparently there's a fable going around this part of Japan that's like, oh, a guy one time went to a lord and said he was going to kill himself, and because the lord didn't want to have to clean up his fancy rock garden, he just gave him some monies and told him to fuck off. And so now everybody's got this bright idea that they can all get money. He just
cleaned up that rock garden,
that's it,
dude.
Yeah. He's like, look, man, okay, I only have like one good rake. I can't break that rake. Okay?
Yeah, I gotta keep this one.
Times are tough. But the point is, he basically is told, about this kid that came, and did this suicide bluff, and they called him out on it.
Yeah,
called his
and
bluff.
the kid was apparently carrying wooden swords
because he was so down on his luck.
Yeah, that he had sold his swords.
And they made him do it anyway
Yeah, with his wooden
weapons.
swords. I like how before they make him commit seppuku. They in the old one how they like look at the swords and it's like you couldn't cut tofu with one of
Totally,
these.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
like you
it's like
said, man, the old one's funnier.
the old one is a lot funnier.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is a. I mean, I wouldn't call it lighthearted in any by any stretch of the
No, no,
words,
it's funnier though.
but it is funnier. It
Mm-hmm.
does have a few extra moments. Like the main dude is definitely a lot more laid back. He's not. I don't think he's as broken as the version from 2011.
No, no.
You know that dude is, and I mean it's really good for the setup because, like we were saying, the one of the main differences between the two films is it seems like the 2011 version focuses more on the family dynamic
And the drama.
and the drama inherent to it.
Agreed. Yeah.
I would say that going back to the kid who commits seppuku at the beginning with the um, bamboo sword.
Yeah, that's a Motome.
Motome, yeah. His in the 2011 version, his death in the 2011 version is a little bit more visceral and kind of gets under my skin just a little bit more.
That's what I was saying about the
Yeah.
Eli Rothness of it.
Yeah.
You know, they totally get you that way. They try to make it where. But there's also something extremely eerie about the original one.
Yeah, well, I think that has a lot to do with the music that's playing over
The
it.
music
Because the
is
music
fuck.
really got on me.
The music's more tense than the original one. The
Absolutely.
music, I think, adds way more of this palpable energy to a lot of the parts.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I guess that's just kind of classic samurai film tone, right?
Yeah.
You know, there was something I was talking to you earlier about that. You know, a lot of traditional Japanese music actually has no correspondence to like discernible rhythms or melodies
Yeah.
or chord structure or things along those lines. Like they're actually trying to emulate. There are scales.
Yeah.
You know, and most of those scales are like 5-note scales, and they have very specific things, but they don't clearly stick to those. They don't mind using off notes. They
Oh,
like
yeah.
using sounds more than using melody.
Right.
And everything is supposed to emulate the sounds of
It's
nature.
it's just noise rock. Oh,
Yeah, it's noise rock, dude.
It's noise rock.
It's old school noise rock.
It's old school noise rock.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, is what it is. It's
Yes.
folk noise rock.
Absolutely. It's great.
But they so you know, there's these times where in like during the fight later in the field, you know, where the music is building up and it kind of sounds like the wrestling of the wind.
Grass.
Yeah, it has that fury of the you know, the winds picking up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, it's
good stuff.
So anyway, back to the plot synopsis. Basically.
Yeah.
So once the main character Hanshiro
here's the story. Yeah.
He pretty much says, "Okay, what about it?"
Yeah, what am I supposed to do about
drawing
this?
a line on my stomach?
Yeah, I plan on doing this. You know this.
That one's for kids. So he, so he's still holding resolve. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, I got it. And they're like, okay, well, we'll dress you up. You know, get you a bath. And he's like, nope, I'm a peasant. There's nothing more fitting than the peasant clothes I have.
Absolutely.
Let me just get this shit on.
That's right. I will die in what I have on currently.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he walks out in the courtyard. They sit him down. Got the whole ordeal.
I think his kimono's a little bit more ratty in the new one.
It is.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. It looks all pilled up.
Yeah.
You know, like an old shitty bedspread.
Yeah. It looks like really uncomfortable wool.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
Yeah. Real itchy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's part of the reason he's so angry. Itchy ass jacket.
That's why he wants to do this.
Yeah.
I'm sick of these itchy jackets.
Fuck this shit. So, you know, it's pretty much the same situation as Motome.
Right.
Except couple of key individuals are missing, and they happen to be the individuals that were kind of instigating that Motome wanted to kill himself.
Yeah,
And at this point,
so
they reveal the entire backstory.
Absolutely. So let's talk about those guys for a little bit, because I think those guys, as well as I think the House of Lee, is what really changes the most in between the two versions.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah.
Because at the in the older one, uh they're very complicit in what's happening to the kid as he's cutting himself open with a fucking wooden blade.
Everybody in the clan knows.
They know about it. They are complicit in it, and
they don't care.
They don't give a fuck.
They're encouraging it.
Those three guys
to prove a fucking point.
To prove a point. Yeah. And in the new one, it seems like the what was it? The counselor, the head
retainer,
the head guy. Second big hat.
Saito.
Second biggest hat.
Yeah, second biggest hat.
Yeah.
Not the biggest.
But he is obviously not involved in the planning of this, and it seems to be almost shocked and kind of appalled at it in the newer version.
Yeah.
Whereas he's more of a...
Which, that's something I really dig in the new version. So when Motome's killing himself, when he's really getting
in,
when
he's getting in there.
He's getting in there with it, the whole time, Omodaka.
Yeah, Omodaka.
Omodaka, yeah. So Omodaka's standing over him.
Because Omodaka's his second.
That's his second. Yeah. So, he's supposed to cut his head off once he fulfills his act.
Right.
And he fucking doesn't.
He's just hanging out.
Antagonizes him. And he's like, come on, take my head. And he's like, no, deeper,
Yeah.
No, push it all the way in there. Take it across your belly. Twist it.
He tells him to twist it.
He says, twist it. And he's fucking yelling at him. And he's just holding that shit. And the whole time, the head retainer's looking at him. And he's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And in the new one, he runs over and kicks him over and takes the sword from him and then cuts the kid's head off and gives him this look like, what the fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
And I really like that.
I like that. That seems a little more nuanced.
Yeah.
Whereas
they kind of push over. Instead, they have this super psychedelic experience about Motome killing himself, which is less directly brutal and more just like agonizing and
I said, dude,
grinding.
Yeah, dude. I think the sound effects in the new one is what got me the most about that scene.
It's what makes it more visceral.
And again, the music in the old one is what kind of got under my skin with that one. So.
And the amount of blood. They do the blood in a different way in the old one, where it looks just gushy and so much fucking blood.
Dark, dude. It is so dark.
Man. Yeah, that might just be because it's in black and white, but
right, but still,
dude. Yeah. So past that point, basically, Hanshiro is saying, okay, so I want Omodaka, the same guy that was
to be my second.
Yeah, same as Motome, and he's like, so do that, okay? And they go, oh, where's he? Well, he's not here. Oh, that's weird. Must be sick or something.
Yeah.
Which again, this is a little bit of a divergence.
Absolutely.
They play up the he's real sick.
Yeah, they play
the
up
old one.
Yeah, because he eventually Hanshiro asks for all three of the guys.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing that they changed about in the old one. When they bring Motome's body to their house.
Oh, dude.
In the old one, they're just rubbing the fucking salt in the wound.
Oh my god.
They show him the wooden sword.
Because in the new one, they show up. They deliver the corpse. They apologize.
Yeah.
They give him 3 to go because that's what he asked for before he died. Just so because he explained to him about the situation, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
And, but he asked for money. Like everything right there. Like it's like they actually kind of are a little bit respectful.
Yeah.
A little tiny bit.
Just a little bit.
In the fucking old one,
dude, they are fucking jerks, man. They're such
Dude, they laugh at Hanshiro as they're showing him his son-in-law like mutilated in front of him, and then making him see the fucking wooden swords, and he's like, surely you made him, you let him borrow a sword,
a sword,
no, No, he used that. He used his own
He used
blade,
his own blade.
and then they fucking they as they leave, they just throw the swords on his
They just
corpse.
drop his fucking swords right on the corpse like they're dropping a mic, like they just did the most badass thing ever. They're so proud of themselves.
Pricks,
What
man. Fuck them.
jerks. Yeah.
And that is why, because at least in the new one, you more take it as, well, here's a couple of bad apples
Hmm.
in a group of a house that's probably just,
Probably a little bit more nuanced than just, hey,
yeah,
here's a bad house, you know?
exactly. Yeah, but
And I
in,
don't think that it reads that way in the old one per se. It's just a
yeah.
lot.
I
Again,
think no. What the thing is that the new one, like I said, the new one is just focused on these three guys and making it seem like they're bad apples and they
yeah,
push this bad situation.
absolutely.
The old one is a critique on the concept of honor as a total.
Yeah,
It's not so much as this house. It seems like it's, to me, more of an idea of like, are any of these systems that you hold up just purely for tradition
yeah,
worth holding up if you're doing despicable shit like this?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
because even Hanshiro, like early on, you can tell that he's so about tradition, so about being a
Hmm.
samurai. He has to do this shit. And then as this happens, it pretty much throws everything that he's ever
Yeah,
believed
it
in
throws
his
his.
face.
Yeah, exactly.
It fucking
It turns his world upside down,
yeah. And
literally.
he realizes that everything that he's been about and thought that he was,
Yeah.
apparently other people don't hold up the same honor as him.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
because the like here's an interesting part that's in the old one that they didn't do in the new one. Uh, the 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 local lord that comes to Hanshiro and asks for what's her name?
Mio.
Miho, to
Miho.
Miho's marriage
Yeah.
to his son,
Hmm.
you know, because and he's basically saying, oh well, if you marry to this family, it might not have been his son. They were just talking about an arranged marriage,
And or
right?
some kind of arranged
Um,
marriage for Mio.
yeah, for Miho, and he basically says, well, she would be married for a short amount of time until he finds a new,
Until
prettier,
yeah,
younger bride, and at that point she'd become a concubine for whoever.
right.
And he's like, and I'm not going to sell my
My
daughter into
daughter
that.
for that.
He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but it could open doors for you,
Yeah.
and those are the things that early on question his faith in the situation.
Exactly. They don't really dive too deep into that
Mm-mm,
whole aspect all that much within the new one. In fact, I don't
mm-hmm.
think they dive into that at all.
At all, at
He
all.
just he
They
just
don't
runs
touch on
up
that at all.
to dude. It's like, "Hey man, marry my daughter. You
Yeah.
like her, right?"
And then the next thing is they got the kid.
Yeah.
They have the baby. Because they
Like,
go way more into the family triad.
yeah, again,
Uh,
well, and the pacing's a lot faster
yeah,
too. So I mean, I
yeah,
feel like there are certain little tidbits that the old one like has in its I mean, the dialogue is just better overall.
yeah. But
Anyway.
if you think about, okay, so uh if you took the uh okay, so hold on a second. Do you look like you're really loud?
I look like I'm really loud.
Because you don't sound really loud.
I don't
Here,
sound loud.
yeah, you sound much quieter than me.
Hey,
Like in the
hey,
thing.
hey, hey,
Well, no,
hey,
but you're
hey.
back there when you're
Hey,
talking
hey, hey,
stuff.
hey,
Yeah,
hey.
see, that's the thing.
Hey, 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 hey,
Yeah,
hey,
you see
hey,
what I'm
hey,
saying?
hey, 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 hey.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It just looks so it looks like it almost looked like it was clipping.
yeah. It's not over here at all. Yeah, it looks
So
okay, man. I'm gonna
okay.
turn you a
So
slight bit back up.
technical
Yeah, sorry,
difficulties.
we'll edit that out,
Yeah,
or we won't.
maybe.
Either way.
We'll
Uh,
see. Anyways, so uh so one thing they love in both versions of the movie
mhm.
is story time.
Everybody loves story
Everybody
time.
loves story time.
Ooh,
House of Lee is all about story
I was
time.
about to take a nap. Why don't you tell me a story first?
Right?
Everybody, crisscross applesauce.
Because
It's story
it's
time.
story time.
Ooh, it's story
So
time.
Shinjiro starts telling them a story
Yeah.
about everything that's
Oh yeah.
happened up until that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as Hanshiro goes into that whole situation with, okay, so it's basically the Motome and Miho getting married, and then them having Kingo, and it's the downfall of them because basically he's not making enough money as a teacher, and what he does, and she's
Right.
not making enough money as a seamstress because she's weak and frail, and her health isn't good enough to keep working as much as she should.
Right.
So there's kind of this downfall of their house. In the new one, Hanshiro knows about this.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
privy to all of this. He
Yeah.
seems to be way more involved in their lives than he is in the old one.
Yeah, and in the old one, he's much more of like, it seems like he's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
And not worried about them at all, And they seem to be doing fine, I trust Motome. We're good, right?
Yeah.
And then when he finds out all this shit's going on, he's very disappointed in the situation. And he kind of comes off as super fucking harsh.
Yeah, he does there at first.
Yeah. But in the new one, it's more him being very sad and very supportive.
He's a lot more sympathetic in the
way more sympathetic. Yeah. And there's a lot more time with him and Kengo.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more time, but I really think all of that is just Takeshi Miike trying to grind the screws on you, man.
Yeah, because that's what he does.
That's all he's
doing. All he's good. That's what he's good at, man. Takeshi Miike, man. I love some Miike shit, man. He just knows. He knows how to turn those screws just right.
He's just trying to make it burn worse.
Yeah.
And with the old one, they don't care as much about the emotional impact of the story.
No.
They want you to think.
They're trying to make that point.
That point, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your honor worth... Yeah. What is your honor actually worth?
Dude. Basically the idea is that now that he's revealed that he knew Motome and everything.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Miho has gotten sicker. Miho and Kingo are sick. Kingo's about to fucking die.
Yeah.
And then they don't have any money to go see the doctor.
Yeah.
He's flipping out because of that shit. They can't get him any medicine.
Right.
And then Motome's like, well, see, in the new one, he pretty much just is vague. He's like, I got an idea. I'm gonna do something. In the old one,
he straight lies.
He fucking lies. He's like, I know a lender that's rates are way too high, but I didn't consider it before, but I'll go do it. And man, Hanshiro's like, if you know such a man, you need to do this right now. Absolutely. Do not fail us. And he gets this look on his face like, oh fuck. And he's like, okay, well, I'll be back tonight.
Exactly.
So, well,
runs off, and it turns out that he is the guy that
would committed the thing.
Yeah. And he was trying to bluff suicide, essentially.
And then that's when we were talking about the body coming back.
Yeah.
Because the body comes back, Motome's body.
Yeah.
Kingo dies of illness.
Well, in the new one, he dies
beforehand.
Right beforehand.
Yeah.
Which makes the three, what is it? Right.
Dio. It's RYO, but you say it as a D.
D. Okay.
Dio. Yeah. That's what's funny. That's what's funny about. Yeah, it's Japanese.
Yeah.
It's like in Shimyu. His name is Ryu Hazuki.
Yeah.
Dio. They say it all day. Dio Hazuki.
Oh, okay.
Dio. Yeah.
So he gives him the 3 Dios, and it makes it really ironic because that was the whole reason that he went there in the first place. Mm-hmm. And now there's no point because Kingo's dead.
Yeah.
And then in the new one, it's almost like their deaths happen in really quick succession.
Yeah.
Because she ends up just killing herself.
Yeah.
Because by that point she's gone she's pretty gone.
I mean, she's
pretty far gone.
The dead baby. She's fucking so she ends up killing herself.
And in the new one. Now in the old one,
she just dies of sickness, and they kind of just pass over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't make her death or the kid's death a
all
huge
that,
deal.
Yeah,
they almost don't even really show it. It's just kind of like,
don't.
Well, that shit happened, and now I'm here to fuck y'all.
That's pretty much it. Pretty much. That's it. Exactly.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, so those 3 guys that he requested to be his second, we don't know where the hell they are.
Yeah, exactly.
They never showed back up.
Dude, I love when he...
It's better in the old one.
It's way better in the old one because he takes out each individual top knot and he's just like, oh, by the way, I labeled them.
Just in case. I labeled this for you.
And he throws out the last one. And
earlier, though, before he gets to any of that, you remember when it's one of the last breaks where he's basically like... surely 3 of them can't be out with the same illness.
Dude,
How curious. And he's just laughing to himself in the
I
middle of
love
this
his
courtyard.
laughs in the old one, dude. They're so great.
They're real good. Yeah, dude.
It's that fucking just like
Yeah.
old Japanese man
Yeah,
laugh.
dude.
I fucking love it.
And you were saying with the top knots though?
Oh yeah, but no, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
This just his laugh as he threw the
Yeah.
last
Oh
one
yeah,
out is
yeah.
like,
Man. But as soon as he reveals this, the Lord there, or not the Lord, the head retainer,
yeah,
is pretty much just like, you're a madman, you know?
yeah. You're a fucking maniac.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
what, did you come here to bluff as well? Now, in the new one, they pretty much just get right to it. He's just like, well, I came here to prove a point and fuck you guys, and I got a
yeah.
wooden sword,
And now I got
and
a wooden
so then
sword.
they have a whole dance with a wooden sword where at any point they could have just fucked him up.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
now thinking about it, the whole end fight scene actually doesn't even make sense in the new
It
one.
really doesn't, and
And
I
that
think that
sucks.
that really does suck because I mean it's not like it's bad. It's
No,
just
no.
once you start thinking about it, and especially after you see the original and how
Mm,
he's actually fighting them
yeah.
with
Well,
weapons.
because in the original, basically he's sitting there still in his position, ready to cut himself,
Mm-hmm.
when they start attacking him. So first thing that happens is they try to hit him with a spear. At which point he parries and kicks in half, and then
Yeah,
he takes another spearman. He like dodges a spear, grabs the spearman, flips him around, uses him as a human shield to
yeah,
then stop a katana slash. So as this guy's fucking bleeding out and he's holding him and positioning him in the other
yeah.
guys,
Just not a good
yeah. But he
situation for
he
the human
pulls
shield here.
pulls human shield's own katana out and then
Yeah.
starts using it. So he has a real blade
He
in
has a
that one,
real blade. It
dude.
makes more sense why they're not able to get him. I mean, I know
Exactly.
it's just like in the new one they're just trying to make a point. It's
It
symbolism. It's
yeah.
connecting
Uh,
his
and it might actually seem
vengeance
more
to
badass since he doesn't even have a real blade.
some degree,
You
but
know,
then the more I think about that
it's
last
just
fight scene, there
stupid.
really
It's
isn't
stupid.
much going on
It,
in it. He's mostly just dodging the whole time, which I guess
yeah,
can be impressive,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm sorry, the old one just kind of wins overall for
yeah.
just having a much better ending and him actually committing
Oh,
suicide.
well, and
Like,
him grabbing the suit himself rather than just throwing a guy on it, like him actually
yeah.
grabbing the suit and basically holding it hostage, and then them boys roll out with Tingushima rifles.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
fuck, man! Like that is
Yeah.
so cool, dude.
I love it. Yes.
It's
So he's got the big hat.
yeah, he's got the big hat. He's like,
You know.
and I'm gonna suplex your
Yeah.
big hat if you guys don't fuck off.
Yeah.
And yeah, the end fight scene is so good because he throws himself up against that wall once he realizes that he's completely fucked because they've been
Absolutely.
ripping into him.
Oh,
I mean, he's
absolutely.
fucked.
He's not
Yeah,
like that's another thing is like in the new movie, even with him having a wooden sword,
yeah,
and those guys could have fucked him up like at any point during that fight. He kind of comes out of it unscathed until until the very end when they all like just run up and actually start fucking cutting him
yeah,
up.
yeah,
But this guy has been legit like in the old one he's legitimately fighting for his life.
yeah, yeah.
You know? And it's only when he realizes he's actually fucked and he actually commits seppuku. He
Yeah,
commits
man, and he
harakiri.
doesn't do it with a tanto either. He does it
No,
with
no.
full on katana,
Full
which
on
I
one.
think is way more impressive.
Yeah.
If you
Oh
ever,
yeah.
because I mean that's a whole lot of blade to have
Yeah.
enough force to slam it into your stomach.
Oh yeah.
You have to really be about it.
You have
Okay.
he really had to want to do
He was
this.
really about it, okay? And that's one of the funny parts too is he pretty much says straight up like in the old one, okay, I we hands down like the dialogue better in the old one. That's
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think they are much clearer with the points of what's
Mm-hmm.
happening and the intentions of the individuals and how those things play out. I really think that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the uh uh the way that he explains honor to the head retainer and
Yeah.
basically explains to him this idea of like your samurai are upholding false honor, like it's a
Mm-hmm.
farce, it's a
Yeah.
complete fallacy where you guys are upholding this idea and you don't even know what honor is. And
Absolutely.
he's looking at him as like, are you telling me that you came to our audience basically to tell us that samurai honor is bullshit?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
a weak argument.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
much. That's.
yeah. He's like, and so he goes, I think that that you have actually come here as a liar. And he looks at him and
Yeah.
goes, "Are you saying that I am coming here with a simple grievance and don't intend on opening my stomach today?
Yeah.
Because you are wrong.
Because this? You mean this?
This, I'm gonna do one of
I'm gonna
these.
do one of
I'm gonna
these.
he I wish you guys could see the motion because
For
I mean
real, like I don't know if
like
you guys,
understand what we're
we
saying.
we like
You make a sword
make a sword
and you
and
pull it
then
across the belly.
pull it across the belly.
It's like
That's
think about like having a handle and you pull it across. That's
yeah,
you
like you're
pull it across.
unzipping your belly.
That's it. Yeah, with a sword handle.
With a sword. You're gonna unzip your belly with a sword.
In both directions. So you so one of the other things that I was my biggest takeaway originally watching the first movie
Yeah.
is the fight scene between him and Omodaka.
Yeah.
That fight scene is
It's really good, dude.
that is that iconic classic samurai fight scene.
And that's something that is not really in the newer
At all.
film.
Well,
Because
they brush on the fight, but he fights all three of them at once.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
They kind of combined all the fights,
Which is weak.
Yeah.
It's just weak.
Yeah, weak.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's weak, and that
Yeah.
sucks. You know, it sucks.
Changed your entire opinion on a movie that you
That
just
I love.
loved. Yeah, didn't it? Fuck, man.
Now I'm gonna have to watch it differently. You know. But,
Yeah.
so to end the story, basically in the new one, he's struck down by all of the samurai of the House Lee. In the old one, he kills himself, but the outcome is pretty much the same, which
For
is
the most part.
that they got to clean up a whole bunch of mess.
Yep.
Before the Lord gets in.
And you don't really see the Lord coming back in the old
No,
one. It's
you don't.
just it just kind of ends on the shot of the armor put back together.
That's right.
You know,
because the armor's been blooded up, thrown all over
in
the place
new
in
one,
both versions.
Yeah.
You know?
In the new one, that Lord knows people have been touching his stuff, dude.
I love it because that look on his face because you know he's sitting there and he goes, and he's like, you know, how are things while I was away? And he basically explains to him, oh, everything's fine. You know, we have to upheld the honor of the house. And
yeah,
and then he looks over at the armor and he's like, has it been polished? And he goes, of course, Lord. We that armor is the symbol of our honor,
right?
And the Lord looks at him like, yeah,
really,
oh yeah,
oh yeah. You've been touching my things, haven't
you?
you?
What, man? I love it in the old one. How not only does he defile the armor, he uses the blade that's the Lord's blade to fucking
kill himself open. Yeah.
So they had to clean everything up.
Oh yeah, that was so much blood in the old one, dude.
And the lead the retainer still is the same. He does the same thing, which is basically
just cover it up.
Needs to shut the fuck up
about
this.
Don't you tell anybody.
No one's gonna know about this because this is a big old disgrace on our big old hat. Okay.
Yep. You disgraced my hat, dude. Don't disgrace my big hat.
So.
Yeah, man.
You need to watch both of them.
Yeah, I would say I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, there's less soap snow in the old one.
And there are some weird inconsistencies too, like with shit like that. Where you're like, well, now his hair's all clean. What happened? All he did was walk from here to there.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
Snow doesn't melt that fast. No. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like the way the lead retainer is in the old one better in general. But I love the facial expressions of the
new guy. Yeah,
who's also in 13 Assassins. I just realized that.
He's like the main dude.
Yeah. I forgot that was that guy. Yeah,
which is awesome.
Because he has like more hair in 13 Assassins.
I like Hanshiro's disappointed noises in the old one a little bit better. I'm like,
yeah, dude. But there's that one part that Hanshiro, when he first is being told about the the suicide bluff,
right?
Where he's like would you care to hear about the story? And he goes, oh,
oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
real
dude.
good.
I love his just subtle small
Yeah,
reactions,
yeah.
dude. It's great. Nani?
No, neat. Yeah, but guys, you should watch both versions.
Hmm.
Yeah, you should watch both versions. I
They're
feel like
great.
it gives you a context that watching one of them won't.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
it's two sides of a coin that, because it's almost like if you could make a mishmash of both of the things, you'd have the perfect version of this. Where it's like if you took the a little bit more of the relationship between Miho and Motome.
Motome.
If
Yeah.
you, because that stuff's really
And
good in the new one,
yeah,
man.
and the main dude, like the
Yeah,
whole family dynamic
if
in
you
the
had
new
some
one.
more of that
Yeah.
with still the same message of the
Yeah.
old one.
Yeah, and the same like pacing. I feel like the pacing was a little bit more slower and contemplative in the old one.
Yeah,
But you know, I don't know, it just seemed to work a lot better for
yeah,
me
yeah. With
personally.
a lot of the stuff, I think I'll agree with you
Yeah.
on that. Yeah, yeah, man. Both of them are amazing though.
Yeah.
And I think that, I've heard this before, but Harakiri is one of those movies that, like, if you like movies, if you really like
Hmm.
movies, you should
You
just
just
watch
kind of
it. You just
yeah,
you
you're
have
just
to
gonna
see
love it.
this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an obelisk in film history. It's a thing
Absolutely.
that's so. And this time, I actually found a little hint
Hmm.
in it that I'd never seen before.
What's that?
The reference that El Topo has
Oh,
to
when
this
he's
film.
yeah, in the 1962
That's
version,
right.
he's when he's crossing his
Mm-hmm.
fingers during that or crossing his
Cross
fingers.
fingers.
He's crossing his fingers,
I
man.
hope.
I hope this works.
No,
No, he's crossing his
Hanshiro, yeah.
arms.
Yeah.
He's doing like a Ultraman
Oh,
stance
see,
or
I
something.
was
Yeah.
thinking Wolverine.
Oh yeah, Wolverine.
Yeah,
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 absolutely.
old school Weapon X style,
Yeah.
like Weapon X, like
Yeah.
that fucking yeah. But he's doing that in both of the films, in
Hmm.
both of the in El Topo and in the original Harakiri. There's a scene where the weapon is in right hand. They cross both of their hands
Hmm.
and they walk towards their opponent with this stance that seems completely irrational because
Absolutely.
you're putting, because the right hand is behind the left hand.
Right.
At like a disadvantaged stance,
Absolutely.
and it's a very intentional it's a power move.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of a
It's an
taunt, dude.
intimidation, dude.
Yeah.
And the scene in El Topo that this is in happens to be the most honorable of the fights
Of
that he
all the
has.
fights, yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing moment that I realized today that
Yeah.
well, two of my favorite things are linked together.
Yeah, there you
Because
go.
there's no fucking way Hodorowski didn't know what he was doing
No,
when
no,
he put
not at
that
all.
scene in
No,
there. I
no.
don't even believe it. Okay.
Hodorowski knew exactly what he
You
was
knew
doing.
this. You knew
Yeah,
this. You've
he
seen
knew.
this. Because you definitely watch, international films.
Absolutely.
So,
Nice.
but yes.
Well, cool guys. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
So check us out on Facebook and YouTube and Spotify and Anchor. We will be having a new episode of the Occasionally Relevant Gaming Show coming up very soon. You're actually playing through Ghost of Tsushima.
It's part of the reason we decided to do the
Samurai thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully next week we'll have that one ready to go for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, do we? I don't think we've decided on next week
No,
at
you
all.
guys will just have to get a surprise.
Yeah.
So,
You ready for surprise?
yay.
Yay,
Oh, it's story
surprises!
time.
Oh, story time! I love story time. All right, Philip. Final thoughts.
Yeah, something I left out.
Hmm.
There's one scene
Okay.
when the head retainer walks up in the middle of the fight
Yeah.
in the new one,
Hmm.
and he calls him a madman. And what he says is, "Mad? I was just a man living my life,
Yeah.
waiting for the spring."
Mm.
And that's it.
Good stuff.
Bye, guys.
Bye.